Welcome to Bonita's Kitchen and thank you for joining us. What I'm going to be making today is a delicious meal called meatloaf lasagna. And this recipe I'm making today is from leftover meatloaf. I'm always looking for ways to use my leftovers and put it into another meal. So if you're interested to know how to make it, let's get started. So what I'm starting with is cutting a couple of pieces of my already made meatloaf, and this one I had frozen for a week and now I'm taking it out and making a lasagna. So we'll start with this first, cutting a couple of pieces. So I got myself here a nice chunk of mozzarella. I'm just cutting a couple of nice thick slices of this. Now this is a serving for two. If you want to make a full lasagna, you can just keep cutting up your meatloaf and cutting up your cheese. But I'm going to show you this much first. So what you need now is some lasagna. The lasagna noodles, you can just get these and cut them in half, crack it, put it into your boiling water and just let them go till they're just nice and tender. I'm going to reach for mine. I'm going to show you how to plate these into single portions. Today I'm using my small cast iron pans. You could use single pans or you can use a square one. So let's get started on that. Okay, so we'll get started on and putting these together. So again, we got our cooked noodles. I'm not going to explain that to you because you could get it right from the box. We got our already made meatloaf. We do have one on Bonita's Kitchen if you'd like to make one. We got some pepper, oregano, salt, chunk mozzarella, some cottage cheese, pasta sauce, and some tomato. So now we're going to get started making. I'm just going to make two. But again, you could make a nice square one if you want to. You need 2 strips of lasagna noodles per small serving. And that way you got one on the bottom, you got one on the top. And if you got them cracked in half, you can put 2 at the bottom and 2 at the top. So you're just going to put the noodles down first. After I cook the noodles, I put it into some... I'm having difficulty. I'm going to take it with my hands. I put some olive oil on it just to keep it from sticking together, and that's all you need to do with that. And now I'm going to put a little bit of pasta sauce over that. So now the pasta sauce I'm using just got a little bit of garlic and herb, but if you want to make your own, that's fine as well. So you just put that there. Then you're going to get yourself a nice piece of the meatloaf and put that on top. You can slobber that with meatloaf if you want to. Just a nice piece to put on there. And then we're going to top it with some cottage cheese. So you can see where I'm going with this now. So pretty much all you need to do is have enough ingredients to make ever how many people you're going to be serving. You can have the shredded cheese, you don't have to have the block cheese, and you can have even extra amount of the meatloaf. It all depends how big of a pan you're using. So I'm kind of tucking this in there because I want for this to stay inside, and not a little bit of pasta sauce over the top. I'm going to just put a sprinkle of pepper and salt on each one. Now if your pasta sauce is a little salty, you don't need to have much. And I got some grated oregano, I'm just going to put there. And then comes the piece of mozzarella, then the piece of tomato, and some more oregano. Now how good is that? So now how easy is that? And this is what we like to do. When we got leftover meatloaf or anything leftover, we like to turn it into a new meal. And that way your family gets to enjoy it and it's not called leftovers anymore. So what I'm going to do now is put my single portion cast iron pans in a preheated oven of 350 degrees for 30 minutes or less. And depending on your oven, once the cheese is melted, everything in there is cooked and it's just getting that golden brown. So I'm going to do that now. Meet me back here when they're done. I'll show you what they look like. Welcome back to Bonita's Kitchen, and our meatloaf lasagnas are baked. I'm going to take them out of the oven and show you what they look like. Now this is as good as it gets, that's for sure. They're delicious. Now what a way to make our leftover meatloaf, turn it into a delicious lasagna. Your family would love it. I can't wait to have a taste of this delicious meat lasagna. Or meatloaf lasagna, and Raymond is back there drooling. But pretty much this is all you need to do. You just need to cut up your meatloaf and turn it into a new meal. And lasagna is only one of many that you can turn them into. I'm just going to have a little taste here now. This is blazing. So delicious, and that meatloaf is tender. I got a Caesar salad, some garlic toast there, and I know we're gonna love this now once we're finished taping. Have a little sip of my tea. Nice. This is as good as it gets. Meatloaf lasagna from your leftovers. And I'd like to say thank you to Mary from the Vimy here in our community for gifting me these beautiful little teacups. So if our recipe today interests you, I do have it posted down below this video, and as well here on YouTube, the subscribe button is there. If you haven't already done so, just hit the link and it'll prompt you to what you need to do. You can also visit us on our Facebook page or our website www.bonitaskitchen.com. If you got a recipe request or you just want to look for a recipe that it means something to you, just go there and visit and leave us a message. So this ends our program today for meatloaf lasagna. I hope you found this recipe helpful for you. So from our kitchen to yours, thank you for joining us and have a wonderful day.
Join us by the sea, a journey in culinary, always an open door. Bonita's kitchen to yours. Bonita's kitchen, to yours.